Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode. My name is Sam Sobi. The boys, myself, and Stephanie right over here somewhere. Right, say hi, hello. Hi. We were just out on the lake, caught a whole bunch of crappies. Now we're gonna fry them up. We're gonna do a little gourmet fish fry slash mukbang. I'm gonna sit the boys down, we're gonna enjoy some fish, and talk about some of our favorite ice fishing memories. This is pretty cool, because like, someone like Augie and Brok, they got stories for days. So I don't know if this video is gonna be an hour, 2 hours, 12 minutes, I don't know. But either way, we're gonna have a blast. Stick around, stay tuned. You won't be pissed. Okay, so big decisions we have to make right now. Stephanie just came outside with, okay, hands full of fish batter and options. What do we got? Talk to me. Go through.
The normal, Louisiana, always good.
Okay, staple.
New one, Zatarain's fish fry, Southern.
That's good. Southern. My buddy Corey loves this.
Does he? Oh. Cajun shore lunch.
Cajun's good.
Cajun. Spice it up a little. Or the original beer batter.
Oh my gosh, I love beer batter.
I also love beer.
Okay, what do you think, Augie?
As long as we don't have what's it called, panko, I'm fine.
Oh wow! What do you think?
Do a whole bunch of both, of everything. A whole bunch of.
I think we definitely, like, just because we haven't had it in a long time, we definitely need to do some Zatarain's fish fry, just crispy Southern. That sounds good. Yeah. And then, yeah, we'll finish up a little bit of that Louisiana, and then maybe even a little shore lunch Cajun. That looks good.
Yeah.
Cajun's good.
Cajun's always good. Got the fresh lemons today.
It's gonna be a good mukbang. It's gonna be a good fish fry. So let's finish cleaning these fish here. I've been extremely busy just slaving away cleaning these fish. I'm gonna get these boys to help me out now. And then yeah, we're gonna fry them up. So stick around, stay tuned. You know the deal. You won't be pissed. Playing fish, 1 out of 10, would you say you're a?
I'd say like I'm a solid 5.
Right on. How about you?
I got a 1-up, I'm a 6.
All right, Brok, talk to me. Show them the difference between a black crappie and a white crappie, because it's pretty cool. We've got a bunch of blacks, but a couple bonus whites.
Okay, so first off, here's a black crappie. It's got the salt and pepper speckles on it. Okay, and here is a white crappie, drastically different. It's got vertical bars on it instead of the splotchiness. I mean, it's still got the specks, but they're all in a line.
Beautiful. Those are beautiful. We don't have those in many lakes around here, but some shallower bodies of water we do have them. It's just a subspecies of the black crappie.
Yep. And like a main thing you can tell the difference is the number of spines it's got. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Less than 7 on a white crappie.
And how many does a black have?
7.
And a black has 8 to 9. There's a lot more.
What does that one got?
And this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. 7, 8.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Nice!
Why, you can tell it's a white crappie by the way it is.
It's true.
Are you kidding me? And I cook a couple in the Zatarain's and then a couple in the Cajun.
I'm
Perfect.
excited for this one.
Yeah, me too. I love Cajun
Yep.
stuff.
Especially with some lemon.
Oh my god.
Did you crush it?
I crushed it.
Yeah, no, if you're not subscribed to Brok, that's just doing yourself a disjustice. Brok's hilarious, makes awesome, funny fishing videos. So if you're not subscribed to B-Rock Outdoors, I'll link it down below. But steps that we're going through. Step 1, catch the fish. Boom, did that. Step 2, flate them up, have good times with the boys. Step 3, wash your fish out very thoroughly. We wanna make sure there's no blood, guts, anything. We did that, we washed it out really good. Now step 4, get out all your batters and get the grease piping hot. So that's what we got going on right here. And never forget beautiful succulent lemons. If you don't like lemons on your fish,
Just leave right now.
To be honest, I don't even like lemons.
no, it's gonna be super good. We got all our breadings laid out here. The fish is beautifully washed. We got it in cold water, and it's just gonna kind of stiffen up the fillets. It'll be good for it. Then what? How many fish could you eat?
The whole lake.
I don't know if you guys, like, maybe this is the same with you guys, but like, we'll get up in the morning. Obviously we're late because we probably slept in, and we'll forget to eat breakfast. We head out to the lake. We're like planning on only gonna be there for the afternoon. It turns out to be an all-day thing, and then you realize come the end of the day, I've drank probably 1 sip of water all day and had 0 food. So I don't know if you guys are the same as us, but it seems like just when you're fishing, you're not even thinking about eating. But when you come home, or eaten? How many fish could you honestly eat? Because you didn't eat anything today.
Yeah, I've been eating nothing today, so I could probably eat 10 fish, 20 fillets maybe. Maybe even more than that, I don't know.
That's a lot of fish. All right, so we're cooking the fish right here. Then when we're done cooking the fish, we'll sit down, chill, and talk about some crazy fishing stories because it seems like you guys know, the best things that happen in fishing always come off camera. So some stories will be from way back in the day, some stories will be recent, but yeah, it's gonna be a good time. And for all you ice fishermen out there, young or old, if you've never heard the word mukbang before, I'll throw the definition of it right here. That's mukbang, and we're about to mukbang. Mukbang coming up in 3, 2, 1. Mukbang! We're having a mukbang. Do you even know what a mukbang is?
I'm curious, George. I hop in the Porsche,
mukbang.
5 and a horse. I'm ready for war.
It's still hot.
Mukbang.
Mukbang!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is potentially, no, I think for sure, this is the first mukbang ever done on this channel. I don't know why, because like podcasts are super huge. We've got a lot to say that never ever makes the videos, and I want to start more of this. If you think this is a good idea and we should keep doing more mukbangs, just like us frying fish, having a good time, telling stories, please comment down below. I'd love to do more mukbangs because we're always just like frying fish in the garage, and that's when the best times happen, and that never seems to get like, it never sees the day of light on YouTube, and I think that's wrong. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chow down some of this fish, and I'll probably start asking these guys questions all the way down the line on some of their best fishing stories, most memorable, worst day fishing, just a bunch of stuff down the line. But first and foremost, let's crush some of this fish and get our thoughts. Some lemon action.
Different flavors.
Get some lemon action on this.
So, Louisiana, Zatarans, Cajun.
You want some lime on it too?
No. Okay, here's a little pro tip that we just did tonight that we've never done. Right next to where we fry fish in the garage, we've got a pizza oven. Obviously, we make pizzas in it, but what we did tonight is we turned it on low and put all the fish that we weren't eating, that were kind of getting cooler, on this little tray, put that in there, kept them warm the whole time. So, little pro tip, get yourself a pizza oven.
To really crisp up your fish.
Mm-hmm. And keep them warm. This is good. What's this time?
Zatarans.
Okay.
That's the Zatarans, yeah. I think the Cajun's my favorite. It's got a little hint of
Yeah.
spice to it.
Yeah, dude.
With
Ooh-wee.
the lemon on
Wait,
there.
what's this one?
This is Zatarans.
That's my favorite one.
Really?
Yep.
Big Zataran guy, huh?
Augie has an acquired taste. You like,
Louisiana's a little more salty.
he doesn't like
It is.
panko. What's your favorite fish batter?
I like
Wow.
shore lunch usually. That's my
Like
favorite.
original?
My go-to. Yeah. Yeah. Or Andy's. Actually, Andy's is my favorite.
Andy's is good. We never
So
get
good.
Andy's.
It's so good. My favorite.
No,
I say
no,
this,
okay.
what?
Dots.
Dots
That-
is good.
that's what's on there.
Oh, that's what we were talking about. Dots pretzels would be such.
We've
a
been
good-
getting this in the comment section a lot, is do Dots Pretzels fish batter, and we'll definitely do that. Dots Pretzels is amazing. If you guys have never had them, check them out, and I think it'd go great with fish, so. That's a video to come, for sure. What's your favorite fish batter?
It's a tough one. There's so many out there that are good. Like, it's hard to screw up fish when you're deep frying, but
You're a Frank's Red Hot Sauce guy. Aren't you?
yeah, I like Frank's Red Hot. And
It's good.
if you could take a Frank's Red Hot and mix it with that Cajun, I think that would be unbelievable. So I would have to say my favorite is just like regular flour mixed with any sort of seasoning that I have in the fridge.
Like
cupboard.
OG,
Yeah.
It's OG.
Just like
Make it up
egg
yourself.
batter and
Sure.
actually no, I lied. Beer batter is my favorite.
It's good. It's
I
good.
love a good beer batter. It's just so flaky and
Yeah. What's your favorite batter?
I'm not gonna lie, I really like that Cajun one. I
Yeah.
think that might be one of my favorites.
yeah,
It's
it's up
good.
there for sure.
Yep.
It's not too spicy.
No, but it's got a
good.
kick. It's got a
that
kick.
good
Yeah.
kick.
Yeah.
And with the lemon,
Yeah, delicious.
that's good.
It's like, it's a tough choice, because like, I feel like I go through phases where like, I'll want nothing but like thin and crispy, like Louisiana, something very light, but then if I haven't had beer batter for a long time, like,
It's hard
Yeah.
to beat.
the
a beer
flakiness of a beer batter just melts in your mouth. It's a little bit greasier fish. I'm sure it's not very good for you. It like holds the grease more, but it's delicious. So
Yeah.
I might say beer batter is my favorite.
good.
It's a tough one to beat.
batter. Really gotta squeeze the lemon. Get all the juice you possibly can. No lemon going to waste today.
And then you got to eat the outside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh.
So since we're on the topic of our favorite fish batters, I say this every time I do a catch and cook. Please comment down below your favorite ways to make fish, favorite batters, your least favorite, your most favorite, a unique one. It doesn't even matter. Like if you have ideas, I'm always looking to make fish different ways.
What have we all tried? We've tried a lot of them.
Sure.
There's a lot.
We've done
tried
Cheez-Its,
the
haven't we?
Cheez-Its,
Yep.
we've tried the
Doritos.
We tried the Gardettos.
Multiple kinds of Doritos.
Yeah.
Like Cool Ranch, Nacho Cheese.
Yep.
Yep.
Multiple kinds of batters. Like we've done a lot of Louisiana.
Have we done any
Yeah.
cereal stuff? Cereal?
No, we've never done
Cereal.
cereal.
Pretty interesting. Like flakes, frosted flakes. or
Frosted
something like
Flakes or
Interesting.
that. Yeah, that could be good.
even like Cheerios. Like
Reese's Puffs.
Mm.
That'd be dust.
Oh.
Reese's Puffs.
There's so
Probably
many
not
options
great.
out there. There's so many different ways to make
So
them.
many things you can do. Like potentials are endless.
And it's not even like we don't just like to fry fish. Like we like baked fish too. We like broiled fish. Like we like fish any other ways. So like if you have a different recipe like that, don't feel like we're discluding anything that's not fried because
Or grilled.
Yeah, we're into grilling. We're into making fish multiple different ways. So just if you have an idea, just comment it down below.
Couple pull-ins. Brok must have played this one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That was me.
we'll start from down the line. I want to hear a fish story that recent that stood out to you. Can be good, bad, ugly. Something that happened within this year or maybe last year or even 2 years ago. And then a story about ice fishing from when you were a kid. And these are cool because like these usually never hit the camera light. So any crazy story, I know it's kind of on the spot, young and old.
Well, I'll start off with my young one. Back in the Dizzy, like way back when, me and my dad and a couple of my dad's buddies went out to a local lake around us, and I think it might have been just like first time I've ever been on like a real bite, but we were just catching like giant bluegills, and I mean that's like the biggest memory that stands out to me for sure.
How old were you?
I was probably like 5 or 6.
Where? Up north or where?
No, around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fun.
Super close.
And then what's a recent story?
A recent story. Something cool that I just did like a couple weeks ago actually was actually sleeping on the ice, not in like a big permanent house like everyone does, but like in a portable. Me and Murray, I was just up north like 2 weeks ago and we slept on the ice for the first time, not in a big sleeper house, and that was pretty fun. That was pretty cool.
It's super, before doing that, it seems dangerous, or it seems like something you can't do, or it seems like you need to have a permanent shack to sleep on the lake, but you really don't. Like the thermal hubs they make nowadays are so extremely warm. You pick a good day to go out, you've got a rock and buddy heater, plenty of propane, and obviously you keep it ventilated. Like that's something you can do. Anybody can do it. You don't need a permanent sleeper house to
Yeah.
sleep on the ice.
Yeah, just bring out a cot, a sleeping bag, and a pillow, and that's all you really need. Maybe
People
a
winter
rod.
camp all the time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was pretty fun.
That was
That
good
was
time.
something new to me.
Yeah.
All right, Auger, what's a story from when you were young and old? Memorable, good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter.
God, let me think.
I feel like jingles.
Yeah, the story of Jingles.
Okay, so when I was, I guess the most memorable story when I was young, I was fishing with my grandpa, my uncle, my dad. We always go up to Gull Lake every year, and we catch some big walleyes. The most memorable story from that was I caught my biggest at the time was a 28-inch walleye, and I remember seeing that thing come across the hole, and I saw the eye. And as soon as I saw the eye, I started crying. I remember I pulled it up. I remember my uncle was there to grab it, and he pulled it out and he like showed it to me. I'm like, I just started bawling. I remember that.
my God!
I just started crying.
That's awesome.
And my brother's like, "Why the hell are you crying?" I was like,
Was it on rod or rattle reel?
it was on outside box.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so rattle.
Explain to
reel.
them what an outside box is if you guys are
So-
maybe from down south and you don't.
Well, our style of outside boxes, it's my grandpa's. He actually made them. They're big, like metal, oval shaped, and on the top it has a rattle reel on the top, and you watch it. It has a line on it, so if you get a bite, you'll watch that line kind of going. It's like a clock, That once that line moves, you got a bite. At night, you obviously can't see that. We have these strike sensors. When you get a bite, it pulls it out, and then you get a red beeping noise inside. And I remember it was late. It was late at night, and I went out there, and it was freaking cold. And I set that hook. I knew it was a big fish right away, and it came across the hole with its eye, and I just lost it. That was it.
That's the best thing ever. The best thing ever is being in a permanent shack and having outside boxes like that, or outside tip-ups too. But like when you're sleeping at night and you either hear a click click from your rattle reel or you hear a beep 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 from an outside box, that's just like you're half asleep, but you're like, oh my God, like nothing stops you between jumping outside, barely even having shoes on, and popping whatever's at the end of that line. Because like, that's the best way to walleye fish,
It's the best alarm clock that you'll ever wake up
Yep.
to.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now a recent story. Something that happened recent that's memorable or
Well,
just
I'm gonna
awesome.
have to give a shout out to Andrew Zolski. So me and him were out on a
Spock.
On a Spock, yeah. We were out on a local lake. This was, I think, this wasn't last year. It's probably 2 years ago now. Trying to catch big bluegills and crappies and perch, and we had a terrible day. And to make it worse, we were on our way back in, and I was flying on the four-wheeler, and we have the portable hooked up on the back, and I came like a bat out of hell off the lake, and I figured, you know, Andrew, he's about 7'8". I figured, you know, he could stop it with his long legs. But this portable, I stopped on a diamond with the four-wheeler, which I shouldn't have. It came up and it smoked the back of the four-wheeler. Everything went flying. It was a freaking yard sale. And, God, it was terrible. I think I broke one of my rods. All of my rods were in my case. And I ended up breaking one of them because it slipped out and it broke. Andrew's got his rods in a freaking bucket. All his nice DH rods. Not a one of them snapped. So that was just one of the funny stories with me and Andrew. We got a lot of different stories, but that was one that just kind of sticks out right now.
You guys have seen Andrew on the channel many times before. I'll put a picture of him right there, but like, all I picture is this 7-foot tall dude with a goofy face being like, as everything comes crashing down.
He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was funny.
All right, I'll go last. But Stephanie, pick a story that's memorable to you ice fishing when you're young and then old. Good, bad, ugly, doesn't matter.
So I have two for when I was young. One, my sister and I mean, we really didn't fish all that much when we were younger, and we used to race wax worms. Remember that?
Race wax.
Yep.
How does that even happen?
Oh,
That's what I'm saying.
you give them a little push and they go pretty far.
Oh, wow.
And then
That bite has got to be
good one.
pretty
it's
slow
gotta
to be
be
like,
real
what do you want to
slow.
do? Race some wax?
Real.
worms?
Yeah.
That's like the turtle. That's like the turtle races in slow motion.
And then we'd also play hockey, and one time with those ice scoops that you scoop out the water
Oh,
or
yeah.
scoop out the chunks.
Yeah.
And she hit me in the face with a metal ice scoop at one of them.
Oh no!
Wow.
That probably
Yep.
felt
that
good.
one, that one was a little sore. Those are the two big memories that I have from when I was younger. More recent, when we went out to Stevens Point and we found a little lake, that little lake with the big crappies in there.
That was cool.
That was fun.
Those were some cool pictures.
Yeah.
But then the bigger fish would be like the trout that we caught last year.
Yeah, Great Lake trout
That
through the
was
ice.
fun. Oh my gosh. That was
Light line, tiny jigs, and like you don't catch them on automatic fishermen, you catch them jigging. So you actually mark the fish, you see them vapor trail up your Vex, wham, and then it's like,
Crazy.
you just hold on because you have a tiny little hook in a crazy fish because trout are just crazy as it is, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and with so much slush that we had,
Yeah.
they were digging out slush as you were trying to reel it up the hole, and it was just a mess. Oh my gosh.
To kind of bring clarity to the slush thing, like in the Great Lakes, like obviously they're so big, the whole lake doesn't freeze. So like part of the lake will freeze out there and then there'll be a bunch of open water, and then part of it will get like chunked up or slushed up that hasn't froze yet. And with the high winds, that'll get pushed underneath the layer of ice to like back in the shallows where you actually fish. So it's like there's never ending slush. You could drill a hole and reverse it with a K-drill or scoop it out, but it's like it keeps going. So like you have to fish in slush all day. And to get them up the hole, it's just like, it's a hassle.
And
but
who grabbed mine up
part
the
of it.
hole? That he literally had to reach down.
Was it
like,
Griffin?
Yeah, I think he reached down all the way down to his shoulder just
Yeah.
to grab the fish to pull it out of all the slush.
We will definitely be doing that again.
So
Brown trout,
much.
whether it be down in Milwaukee with
That
the
was so
Hadias
fun.
or up north Wisconsin with Griffin and the boys. Like we'll
Sure,
definitely do
that'll
that.
be a
You
blast.
need to do that, dude. You need to do that.
That'd be fun. But on a real note, Steph, Euro larva or wax worm? Which one's faster?
Euro.
Okay.
Next
A
mukbang,
bucket
we just
race.
set up a whole lake and everything.
That's actually a good idea.
It was very entertaining.
Steph's been feeding her Euro larva for weeks, just beefing them up for the race.
Yeah.
Creatine.
Not too much though. You gotta thin them out a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's faster.
Be lean. Alrighty, so
Yours.
I'll go now. Probably a memory young that sticks out is going with my dad and my grandpa spearing. I like we don't spear very much just because it takes a lot of gear, and I don't know why. Like it doesn't take that much if you have a big saw. Like, and I don't know how many states it's legal to spear at, but like spearing for northern pike is the coolest thing ever because like ice fishing is fun, but anytime you have a sight hole, it's so visual. Like nothing. It's almost like you're deer hunting, and you just got either your decoy or your big chub down there. Then all of a sudden, just like right behind it, just a big pike, and that's where it's like it's a lot of excitement. But you need to like hold your composure because you have to be really quiet. Dip the spear in the water just like 6 inches and then
Do you throw it or you just drop it? Or
You don't drop it, but you
Kinda
throw
give it a
it.
little shove?
A little bit.
Give it a little push.
You're not like
I've never
spearing
tried.
it, but you're like
Yeah.
almost like that. You'll go.
like directing it almost.
I don't know how the spears are nowadays just because I haven't done it in so long, but my grandpa had these super old spears that were really heavy, so like you didn't need to throw it much. The weight of that thing just, you go right behind the head and then out the door, and it's almost like hunting and fishing combined, and that was pretty cool.
That's the same thing with like pan fishing, like sight fishing. That's fun. That's
Anything
a lot of fun. I can
visual
only
like that.
imagine.
As
just-
long as you can
Really
like,
fun.
it's like one thing to see it on a Vexilar,
Yeah.
but like it's another thing to like actually see the fish swim in and like, oh, yep, he's got it, boom,
Yeah.
and then hit him like.
I feel like you can interact with the fish so much better too.
Yeah, like you can read their body language and like how they're moving. Like sometimes you're jigging, and all of a sudden the fish will just dart off and disappear, and you're like,
hell did I
what the heck just happened? Like the fish just didn't want it. But like these fish, like you can kind of just like figure out how they want it jigged and how they want it danced, and you kind of got like a little bigger hole because you got to see like a big way, so you can kind of like move it around and boom, and it's just like a total interaction between you and the fish. It's not like, oh, I got one on my Vexilar.
Right?
Wonder what it is.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
We need to buy a big saw and do more sight fishing because like in the summer you're casting, you get a bite, you never really like see the attitude of the fish. In the winter on your Vexilar through a small hole, I mean you see marks and you can kind of read the attitude of the fish a little bit, but like actually seeing them, like are they being finicky? Are they going up to it slow? Does a hard rip make them react and do this? Like you can really get like the action of your bait versus the fish and how they react to it. Like you can actually physically see that. So I think that's like we need to do
really
that.
Fun. I don't think I've ever done that.
You've never sight fished? Okay, we're doing
Tomorrow.
It definitely opens your eyes too. Like you can never fish too shallow. Fish are shallow in the
Shallow.
winter. Like you wouldn't think that they'd be in like 3, 4, 5 feet. They're shallow. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, and there's a lot of them up there, especially like early ice when the weeds are still green. Like it's a lot of fun.
Where we live in Minnesota, there's a whole bunch of lakes, and they're just like infested with milfoil, coontail, cabbage, just a bunch of really beautiful, like invasive but like beautiful weeds. And gills love to be around them. And like Augie, I know for sure. Like last year, he dialed in so many different sight bites. Where how shallow were you?
4 feet probably.
Yeah.
mostly.
Like 3 to 4 or 5
Yeah.
feet.
And how are you doing? Are you just drilling a small sight hole with your K drill? And
Yeah,
Then, like,
I usually do the Mickey Mouse ears, 2 on the top and 1 on the front.
Yeah.
Either way, and yeah, the K drill works good for that. But it's so fun. I love doing it.
and all the houses you buy nowadays, they're pretty blacked out on the inside. So it's like
Right.
any house you buy nowadays, you can flip it over there, and if you're shallow enough, like you can sight fish, and that's we're definitely doing that.
yeah.
We have to try that this year.
Okay, memory that's from today or recent. Trout, definitely. That's a rush. They're like the hardest fighting fish ever I've caught on an ice rod. But honestly, huge shout out to my buddy Ryan Pincala. Last year, late ice, we did some pretty cool like backwater river pike fishing. And
The sun is setting, fish tacos are on the stove. Okay, we're gonna get this fish unhooked really quick. Literally 2 flags just popped up. We'll get on these other tip ups right now. Oh, look at that. Yes! Oh, yes! Let's go get those
and it's just like talking about the shallow thing again. We are literally fishing in probably this much water.
That's insane.
It's only like, it ranges from 1 to 3 feet, and late in the year there's like 2 feet of ice. So like you're fishing in 3.5 feet of water, but with 2 feet of ice, there's really only this much water
Right, yeah.
and some
Like,
light current.
Just barely enough for them to swim by.
Like you are putting this much line out on your tip up and just dripping it in
That's
there.
insane.
But like you catch giant pike and it's super cool. And like when they're running right there in the spring, right before they spawn, it's badass. Like it's super fun. So we need to definitely do that. Ryan's a great fisherman, great cook. I'll link his channel down below too. But yeah, that's probably the young and old for me. Who's gonna eat that last piece
Not
of fish?
me.
Austin?
Okay.
Got it, okay.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I was. I was trying to be polite.
Any other crazy stories or anything that you guys can think of about ice fishing in general? Anything you've learned this year that you're like, holy smokes?
Nothing really from this year, but last year, I fell through the ice for the first time, and
Scary.
it wasn't that scary because I like caught myself, but I couldn't imagine being fully submerged under the water. Like,
That's like one of my biggest fears.
yeah, like just going like up to my waist. Like I just like went up to my belly button, but that was enough to like give me that
freaks you out,
initial
dude.
shock. Like,
Right.
holy cow! Like, you got to be careful. But I mean, there's still like 2 feet of ice, but it was like
This is late ice,
super
right?
late. Like the late, like we went out like the week before that, and it was like already like sketchy.
When is this, February?
No, like beginning of
late.
March,
Yeah.
like mid-March
Yeah,
even
March.
maybe, like.
And so when you fell through, they were like perfect cubes.
Well, no, like even when we drill, like it was like cubes, like perfect circles. It wasn't like shaving, you know,
Yeah.
like how it shaves.
Yeah.
Perfect like cubes, like circles, and
And like you said, there's 2 feet of ice out there, so it's not like you're like worried. Like there's good ice.
yeah,
there's plenty of it.
plenty of ice, but like you'd
And
find a
fish are
spot.
snapping.
Yeah, you'd find a spot that was soft.
Yeah.
Sag.
And, yeah, and you just kind of just slowly sink down. You get off it quick, but I just started walking and I just caught myself, and I was like, "Oh, get out, get out, get out, get out, get out!" And later on, my buddy that was with Joe Wires, he fell through too. So we both got a little wet that day, but yeah, that's probably.
Especially early ice and late ice. That's why you spend the extra money. Buy a set of bibs that floats, because it's like
Ice
you never know when
picks,
it's
Yeah,
gonna
have a
happen.
rope,
Ice
you know.
picks, ropes, be out there with buddies. Like people that run machines, they make stuff called nebulous that'll totally save your whole machine and stuff like that. So, how about you? Anything you learned that's just interesting?
Honestly, today this
Yes.
was huge, like
Yes.
crazy. I've never experienced anything like it. Well, these guys wouldn't come with me in the morning, so I had to do it myself. But no, it was like I didn't think it was true. So the whole lake is obviously, we got a bunch of rain yesterday, and it poured, so it got all the snow off the lakes, and we had straight glare ice except for a couple of pressure ridges, and we got lucky. The pressure ridge was like right out over the basin, and I just decided to start there, and there was fish there. I'm like, holy cow! Drilled off of it, no fish. You can drill 100 yards on this pressure ridge, and the fish were stacked up in every single hole that we fished.
Like
It was insane.
Stacked.
50 fish stacked. Like it
Stacked.
looks like you have interference on your Vexilar.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
And it was every single hole too. Like you drill
Christmas tree.
and every single one of them.
Every single one of them. And
stacked.
I've heard stuff about it. I've heard people fishing stuff like that, and I'm like, there's no way.
It sounds like some TV stuff. It sounds like it's guys are out there like, oh, we found a pressure ridge and they're loaded.
Yeah.
It's like, no, for real.
It's real.
There's a pressure
It's
ridge
real.
loaded.
Fish it.
Yeah.
Fish it. Whether it be, I don't know if it's just a crappie deal or what, but I've heard people catching walleyes off pressure ridges and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool, super cool, and
Something new.
something new. Something
Yeah.
new.
And it's like Augie was saying, you don't see that every day because usually there's snow on the lake.
Right.
So we've been lucky. We've had a bunch of rain.
Yeah.
Didn't have much snow. The whole lake is open, and you can just see plain as day. Here's all the clear ice, and then just a strip of white ice, and that's the pressure ridge. All right, Stephanie, something you learned this year, last year that just either blew your mind or just, I don't know, maybe opened you up to a different way of fishing or a different way you think about ice fishing.
I think the one thing that comes to mind last year was the earliest time that I've actually ever gotten out on the ice, because we were out with, I think there was like 9 of us over by that highway. There was a little pond.
Yeah.
And it was literally like 2 inches of ice, and we were all like swarming around the one hole. And I remember like it all started cracking, and there was like 8 guys trying to look down at this one guy catching a fish. Everyone just spread out and ran.
It all started cracking.
It was such a divot that went under, and we were like, oh
That was
my
way
God.
before Thanksgiving
So-
too, which
Yeah.
is like super rare to get out before Thanksgiving around
But-
here.
Lesson learned, make sure you have your bibs that float, or ice
Yeah.
picks,
Yeah.
or rope. I mean,
Yeah.
we had like 50
We had
guys out
everything,
there anyway,
yeah.
but still, that was one thing that came to mind.
Something about that
Just
pond
like,
that's cool is
oh my
it's
gosh.
extremely close to a giant river.
Yeah.
And like anytime you have like a lot of flooding or like, I don't know, just a lot of rain in spring or fall, like a lot of times those rivers are overflow, get into those small ponds, fish will get into there, and the smallest little bodies of water that you're like, it may freeze out or just, there's no fish in there. Fish those.
Fish it.
Any water that's close to rivers, fish it.
Try it.
Backwaters, anything.
you drill a hole, it's 3 feet, fish it.
Try it. Yeah, drop a lure down. You never
We are
know.
by no means river rats or fish backwaters a lot, but that's something I want to get into
Yeah.
more because like it's so sweet. You can find a small piece of water that's just juice loaded with giant fish because
Yeah.
river fish are huge.
Yeah. A lot of state records come out of the river. Fish backwaters. There's big fish there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's something that you wouldn't think that they'd be able to live,
Yeah.
in something like that, but they do. They get
find a
pushed,
way, yeah.
especially if like you have a high water spring.
Like the last couple years we've had too.
Yeah. Fish will get into like little potholes like that, and it's pretty cool.
And then sometimes they just get trapped there too because
Right,
like,
they
then
can't go
water
anywhere.
comes back down and they're stuck there.
Oh, something I learned.
Yeah.
What Augie was talking about, the pressure thing, that was super cool. Like that's something I've only seen one other time. Like we've been up on Winnipeg a lot and fished like different pressure ridges and stuff like that, where there's actually ice heaves and just poking holes right next to them. That's where it seems like you get your biggest greenbacks. But like seeing it in our local lakes,
That's cool.
That was super cool. But I think one thing that I'm trying to like play around with more, maybe I figured out more, is like, especially ice fishing, I don't think it matters that much. I don't think it matters like the size of jig, the specific paint color, the specific plastic, the specific anything. I think I've been overthinking it a lot. Like, definitely there's times where fish are finicky, but I feel like it's almost worth, instead of getting super nitpicky about a certain bait or plastic, just buy more batteries or more gas, drill more holes, and find aggressive fish.
Once you find them, it's
like,
game over.
find aggressive fish, and they're gonna eat whatever you want. So like, I'm on a big hunt this year to like stop planting up as much and search more, find aggressive fish.
Go out hole hopping.
Literally yesterday we walked, what, 6 miles
6 miles.
Yeah.
total?
Yeah.
We're trying to go to more unpressured lakes and try different bites, and like whether it's shown on camera or not, like we are always fishing and filming, trying to do something crazy, and it doesn't work out over half the time. But like that's the part of it, you know what I mean? That's the cool thing with ice fishing. Yeah,
that's fishing in general. You know, you can go out 5 times and not catch a thing, then the next day you go out and you absolutely put the beat down on it.
You're learning something every day.
Yeah.
Dang. Well, this mukbang's been awesome. I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. For all you folks that live down south that don't ice fish at all, I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I truly appreciate you following along with the channel. Open water videos will be coming back soon, but we've still got a whole bunch more ice fishing to do. And for all of you down south that have never ice fished, I'd like to push you to come up here and try it, because it's super cool. Ice fishing in general is really cool because you don't need a fancy boat. You don't need this, you don't need that. When the lakes freeze, the playing field is just leveled. You know what I mean? Everybody can walk out on these lakes, everybody can drill a hole, everybody can catch fish. So like, for everybody in the summer up here who may not have a boat, ice fishing is an incredible opportunity to actually get out on the lake and go after awesome fish, go after really cool bites. So that's something that I feel like people don't talk about very much, is like, ice fishing really is an everyday man sport, and you can buy a lot of electronics, a lot of different high-end rods. You can get way into it, spend a lot of money, but you can do it for super cheap too.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think ice fishing is super cool. I appreciate you guys watching this mukbang. If you like that, please comment down below. I'd love to do more of these. We fry fish, hang out in the garage all the time, and we definitely have a lot of stories that we haven't told. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you go check out Brok. I'll list Augie's Instagram, Steph's Instagram. Thank you guys so much.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Happy days.
Happy days.
I guess there's nothing left to be said than stay tuned. And as always, let the adventure begin. See you.
Move ahead, oh my pretty babe. Something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead.